T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and...
Welcome, everybody. We are your hosts, Rockinmrmagic.
UniqDNA.
This is the original Jeek podcast.
Gang. I don't see no competition in my face. If we do, then we just move them out the way. I don't even need no money in my face. Hold on. Give me the money when I finish with the gang.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. This is the original Jeek podcast, and I am your host, Rockinmrmagic, back as live with my man, UniqDNA. What's up, man?
What's up, man? It's been a long time.
Too long. All
Yeah.
right, so, being that we've postulated a whole lot here, we are going to continue to postulate, and we're going to start part 2 here of phase 4 discussion here on the original Jeek podcast with the next TV show version, and that will be dropping summer 2021, and that is What If. Now, What If will be showing a lot of our beloved characters in their previous roles. So we will see Killmonger, we will see Bucky, we'll see Thanos, we will see Hulk, we will see Loki, we'll see Fury, Thor, we will see Jane Foster, we will see Korg, we're going to see Peggy Carter again, we're going to see Zola, we're going to see Black Panther, we're going to see Nebula, Ant-Man, original, and so Scott Lang and Hank Pym. We're going to see Dum Dum Dugan, we mentioned earlier. We will see Howard Stark. We're going to see Jeff Goldblum again as Grandmaster. Yondu will be making another appearance. Taserface will also be back. So What If is going to bring back a lot of people that have been killed or presumed dead, and just ask a lot of what if this happens questions. If you're not familiar with What If, it's fun to read, and it's kind of like what we do. We just, what if this goes down? What if this detail changes? Also, on top of all those names coming back, my favorite part of this is that Jeffrey Wright will be doing the voice acting for the Watcher.
Nice.
So I think pretty much every show is probably going to be centered around Wright, maybe partially narrating what is going on, which would be super dope.
Yeah. And it's a nice way to introduce the Watchers.
Yes.
Yeah. And they've been watching this whole time.
Constantly observing, but never interfering.
Yep. It's it sets up so many possibilities. I mean, it's What If, right? But it sets up so many possibilities, even to past movies and things like that, to where it's just what if? And then I heard, of course, again, always rumors, but I heard that this they're gonna use this to introduce Deadpool to.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because Deadpool has so many what ifs, with
right.
Deadpool kills the cinematic, the Marvel universe. Deadpool kills the X-Men. Deadpool and everything, especially with him, always breaking the fourth wall.
True.
So it's it fits perfectly with all of that. So I heard. I mean, that's rumors. Kevin Feige did mention that they are going to introduce Deadpool at some point, but he didn't say how or when. But it makes a lot of sense for him to be introduced in this, because he's in a lot of it. He always jumps through comics and stuff like that.
Right.
And so it's what if Deadpool enters the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah.
And you can just play a whole thing on that, with him,
that could be an entire season,
right? And then with him breaking the fourth wall, it's he comes in so I used to work for Fox, but now I don't, and you can just put it out there, and people would just be like it's just perfect. He's the perfect person to like introduce that. And like, yeah, so you want us to know why the X-Men weren't
there? Well, because
the last 10 years.
you wonder why it was just me doing that CGI metal guy. Pocket budget sucks. That's why.
Exactly. So I think it would be super cool if they do that. And it makes perfect sense, and it's also a perfect way to introduce the X-Men, because it's like now I can. He's like, hey, now I can tell you about all these guys that I wasn't allowed to tell you about before because of contracts. Like, and everybody's like, yeah, that's hilarious.
That would be a really great way to bring him in. Yeah. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
I am totally with that.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. I mean, I'm for it. I like the What If series in general. It's always fun, and it's just. Because, I mean, there's a lot of times where I've picked up a few here and there where I'm like, man, I was thinking about that. Right? Like those what if scenarios.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they already made one of those. Like, what if this happened?
Like they beat me to it. Darn, I thought that's something original.
I could have sold that one.
And also, what if is just, it's great because you can do a lot of fun things and change things, and again, without irritating the hardcore, purists.
Yeah, you can go totally outlandish and nobody's gonna care because it's like, well,
because you understand the context.
Yeah.
You understand the setting is we're hypothesizing what if this happened. Right. What if Howard Stark gave his tech away for free, or what if
but if Captain Marvel didn't spend 50 years in
right.
What if he actually came back when he was supposed to in 5 seconds?
Exactly. Like there's so much you could do there. It's exciting to see what's going to come up out of all this. So let's move on to probably the shortest topic that we will have. In another series dropping for us 2021, and that will be the Hawkeye series starring Jeremy Renner reprising his role as Hawkeye / Ronin. I personally, I've always valued Hawkeye more than the casual person does, and partially because
you're serious right now.
Okay, I mean, one, I remember before Hawkeye was Hawkeye. I remember when Hawkeye was still Goliath, and he was taking the growth serum from Ant-Man as an adventure, and then he ran out of serum, and they thought he was dead, and then he came back, and all of a sudden he can shoot arrows really good. So
must have been the side effects of all that serum,
right? You grew so much, but now you got great vision, great accuracy. Your aim is best in the universe now. After all that growth serum, and then became Ronin, which I was still kind of iffy on him becoming the new Ronin, but I've always had a soft spot for Hawkeye. Hawkeye was a teenager, trying to be flirtatious. Hawkeye was Mac, Hawkeye had mad women in the book, so it's like okay. Needless to say, despite my love of Hawkeye, I can't see this being. I don't know. I just can't see it being great. Kate Bishop allegedly is going to make an appearance, who becomes a new Hawkeye. So those probably for him training her as new Hawkeye, him maybe transitioning back to Ronin. But of course, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense since they had him become Ronin in his anger and depression with the loss of his family. So
but now maybe it could be with the loss of Natasha and not being able to save her, or her not allowing him to save her.
His wife is upset enough in the fact that she thinks he's been pining for Natasha all this time anyway. So
so maybe he goes into depressive Ronin Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Like this time, like he was. My wife left me depressed. My wife left me, and now she's leaving me again because I really love.
I really love Natasha. Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you guys. I'm finally going to tell you guys what happened in Berlin.
Right. So we were at this hotel, right? We were waiting to kill somebody, and yeah.
Sorry, Bruce.
And Bruce, what you don't know is that we have this love child out there. Yeah. I don't think she told you about that. The Russians been training her since birth. New super assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like Renner was not a terrible. He hasn't been a terrible Hawkeye. He hasn't had a lot of screen time really. Anyway.
No, yeah, which is not a bad thing. Like not that
No.
he shouldn't have. He's been good. He's been good for what they had him do.
Yeah. I mean, he's fit. He's fit well. Like, if they went with somebody else, I'd kind of be like, what?
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't think Renner is smooth enough to do more screen time because he's not this.
He's very awkward.
Yeah, he's an awkward dude. I can't see him. I can't see Renner putting his Mac down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't see it. And that's half of Hawkeye and Mockingbird is Clint getting his Mac on. So like, I just can't.
Maybe they're just gonna stay away from that side and just have arrows and
exactly. We just gonna have him be angry and shoot things. That's Jeremy.
He does that pretty well.
Yeah, that's Jeremy Renner's skill set.
They're gonna play the Green Arrow TV show.
Oh, don't turn him into Green Arrow. Batman. Start growling at people now. That would hurl.
No, but yeah. I mean, I could take it or leave it, but whatever.
Yeah, no Avenger left behind.
Yeah, no Avenger left behind.
So we're going to move on to probably the most controversial announcement that was made, which is the next Thor film, Thor: Love and Thunder, scheduled to be released November 5th, 2021. Chris Hemsworth will be reprising his role as Thor Odin's son. Natalie Portman will be returning, and not just on a picture, but returning as Jane Foster, who will become the new Mighty Thor. Tessa Thompson will be reprising her role as Valkyrie. And fans have kind of lost their minds on Jane Foster being Thor. If you don't know, if you're not a comic book fan, Jane Foster was made Thor, I believe, also 2014, the same year that the shield was given to Sam Wilson. Jane Foster became Thor to partially save her life. She had cancer. She was deemed worthy. The cancer, becoming Thor, healed her body, and before people want to go on, this is a whole political thing. This is comic book writing. This is not a new thing. It's been around for a few years, and it was a successful comic series that they did a second run on. So before assuming and getting all bent out of shape over not a big deal, this is not a big deal. I just don't know how Natalie Portman's going to pull it off. And I like Natalie Portman, but I don't know. Her lack of enthusiasm in her roles in the MCU so far have put a damper on this for me.
But just the fact that like she avoided being in so many of the movies for whatever reason. I don't know if they didn't want to pay her or what. I don't know. Maybe she was asking for too much money.
But it's like you act like you ain't want to be there.
Right. It's like everybody know. And then like it was like there was so much like with Thor, like, yeah, you know, Jane. Right. Like it was like every other
constantly pining after Jane.
Yeah, every other scene he's like, yeah, you know, Jane. And then even like in Endgame, there was like a whole thing where he's like, oh, she left me, and like there was even that moment
like, where's Jane?
Yeah. And then like there was that moment where they were planning the scene and they showed one of the old videos from 2014 of him and Jane, and he like froze for a minute and like
he was all sad,
tongue-tied and sad, and like couldn't even follow through with the plan anymore because he was just like, oh, Jane. And it's like, come on, like I don't know, like it was like, it's as much as I like Natalie Portman, I'm like, it was a big slap in the face to fans for you to like, for whatever reason, and maybe I don't know, maybe it'll come out why she wasn't in the movies, but for you like not to be in any of the movies except for except for your previous roles, and then all of a sudden just pop up, and then not only just pop up but become the new Thor.
Right, you pop up and you get the power. Like,
right,
what?
It's like, you're back. Oh, and you get the hammer. Like, what? Like, no. And then especially with like Tessa Thompson and as Valkyrie, like the last two, like really stepping up. You know what I mean? Like she stepped up and she took over a new Asgard when Thor was becoming the Big Lebowski.
Right.
And then like, you know, then he handed off the hammer to her, you know, at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's like, oh man, like, you know, like she earned it. And she did good service to it. And then now you're just gonna kick her to the side because, you know, Natalie Portman is a bigger actress. I mean, you know, that's what everybody's saying, right? The political side is like she's a bigger actress and she, you know, like, come on.
To me, and I'm not big on the recasting because she's been the role and she can do it, but you could have.
I'm not crazy about the I mean, I don't think they need to
recast
recast it, but I think you could have just you started that story. You could have just stuck with it, right? Like,
okay, but did you see the picture of her holding Mjolnir?
I did not.
Okay, so I'll show you the picture, but she doesn't look. She's got this goofy looking smile on her face. She doesn't look enthused. she kind of looks like, yeah, I'm kind of got like somehow halfway forced into this. Like if you ain't trying to do it, like if your heart ain't in it,
yeah.
Like,
and which is funny to me because like I was watching what show was that? I forgot the show. There's a show that Kevin Feige, not Kevin Feige, what's his name is directing. It's a Netflix show, and they had Gwyneth Paltrow on like the first episode, and they're it's like a cooking show. So he had this idea to have a cooking show with like celebrities that he's worked with and whatever. So they're in this cooking show, and it's him and Gwyneth Paltrow, and then the cook asked him. No, actually, Gwyneth Paltrow asked him, like, so what gave you this idea? Like, when did you have this idea to start this show? And like, he's in it and he's also directing it. So, he goes, well, he's like, you know, what really made me think about it was when we were filming Spider-Man, and he was like, remember when it was the scene? And she's like, I wasn't in Spider-Man.
Oh, when she yeah. She remember she was in the movie.
Yeah.
What?
And
you were in the movie.
Like, you don't remember we had Tom Holland come out and you came out of the back room and she's like, oh, that was Spider-Man? And then it was just like, yeah, that shows me how much you care about these movies, right? Right. And she was another one who, like, it was like, where's Pepper Potts? Like, they got married and like she disappeared, and then she popped up in Spider-Man for that brief like cameo, and then she disappeared for a couple more movies, and she popped back up again now recently. Right. But like for so long, it was like she was the Jane of Iron Man. Like, she was, you know, never in the movies, but we always made mention to her, and it was always like, oh, she's
hey, where's Pepper at? Oh, she
had to go have this meeting with the, you know, Stark Industries and blah 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 blah. Right. But it was like.
And she never looked like she was all in.
Yeah, she was another one who, like, I mean, she never looked like she was so enthusiastic about it. Like, even their chemistry was like,
they had
sometimes it was off.
It was just bad.
Yeah. I mean, like, Robert Downey Jr. made it great. But yeah, like, if it wasn't for him.
RDJ made it look like he really was into this chick, and she was there.
Right. But like, he, like, even those times where she, like, totally just dropped the ball on the acting, like, he figured out a way to pick it up and just keep it going, and you're like they don't have good chemistry, but I like the way they, like, it worked out. So you're like, oh, this is cool. Like, I could see them together. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't look like they were forced together.
And she definitely acted like a wife. Like,
yeah. And she gave that.
He's trying to see the world. She's like, you better get back here for our date.
Exactly.
Hey, what was about to end? You talking about dates? Like, back here now.
It played off real well, you know. I mean, they didn't have chemistry, but it was like, I could see them together, because it's like, it wasn't that TV romance, like everything's perfect, we're in love and blah blah blah. But it was almost like, yeah, like I could see that, where like people get married and they don't necessarily love each other the way you see on TV all the time, right? Like, it was always like, yeah, sometimes I'm just not interested in him and he's just not interested in me. He's more interested in his toys. Right. You know, and it's like, that's reality. That's real marriage. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's those days. Right? So like, I as much as like, I was like, oh, they don't have great chemistry, I was like, it played off like a real marriage. It played off like a real relationship, where it was just like, she's the career woman and she's looking out to get her stuff, and he's like, I'm just want to play with my toys. And like,
and the more she gets attached and the more they get tighter, the more she puts the reins on. I don't want you doing the superhero stuff. It's dangerous. I need you here. You talk about you want to get married, you want to have a family. Well, you can't do both.
exactly. So and then even during the whole, I mean, they're calling it the blip now, but even during the whole blip and like his daughter and that whole like dynamic, I was like, okay, she redeemed herself from not being in the last like 6 movies. But it's the same idea with Natalie Portman, where I'm just like, you have no interest in this, so why did you come back?
Right.
How much are they paying you?
For real, like, the money's got to be really good.
Yeah, because like clearly I feel like they built up the whole story of Valkyrie taking Mjolnir to avoid bringing her back as the new Thor.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they were like, okay, we need to set up something for when Hemsworth can't do this anymore. We know we have a female Thor in the comics, so how do we do this? Oh, we can use Valkyrie. Right, like, and she's excited about it. She wants to do this, and then it's like Natalie Portman just pops up, like, you know what, guys, I changed my mind. I'm ready to do this now. And then of course, like Marvel, I mean, it makes sense, right? They're like, yes, we're going to jump on that because we get to stick with the source material now, and
right. So are they going to give Jane cancer? And my I don't have no idea, but the twist I think is going to happen is, I think they're going to make her Tessa's girlfriend, and then she gets sick, and then Tessa gives her Mjolnir, and she becomes Thor and whatever. And then Thor Odin's son's even more heartbroken because the girl he's pining after is now with his homegirl.
I can see that. And I think it's an easy way to explain why she wasn't in any of the movies, right? She was sick, right? And it's almost like, yeah, he either he didn't know, or he didn't know how he could save her, or she
didn't tell him,
right? And she just been hiding it from him. Or he knew how he can save her, but he didn't want to give up
being
the hammer for her, right? Like, because he knew that the world, it was one of those, like, with great power comes great responsibility moments, right? Like, where it's like, I love her, but I also need to continue to save the world. So it's like, what do I do here?
The thing to me is how do they end a film like this? Because I can't see Natalie Portman ending the film still as Thor. I just can't see.
Oh, she might surprise us.
I mean, she might, but
the good thing is she is a good actress.
Oh yeah, we both agree on that.
Right. But so I think
can you
get her excited about it?
They would do more than one film with her as Thor?
I think so. Because I think if you can get her excited about it, like, I think you can carry that for a while, right? Like, they had that whole in Endgame, they had that whole girl power moment where it was like all the female superheroes, right, and it was like, yo, and there was that moment where I was like, I could see this, like, if all the males for some reason like were killed right now, and all these women took over, like, I would still come and watch these movies, right? Like, with all these different characters as the new superheroes or the new Avengers or whatever. So I think she could probably pull it off. Well, I mean, I don't see why not. But I think the thing is getting her excited about it to the point where she really like goes all in with the character. And that's the part where I'm like, I'm not sure where she's at with that. And I don't think anybody has like interviewed her or talked to her, at least not that I know of. I also don't follow her that closely.
Yeah.
But like, I would be interested to see like how she's, I'm sure she's getting tons of interviews now. So I'd be interested to see those interviews and like sort of like how she's feeling about the role and stuff like that. Cause I mean, that's going to determine it, right? Like it's with these types of roles, you got to go all in.
You have to. Especially if you're gonna be the one you're doing the scenes, you're carrying the torch.
So like, if you can carry it, I mean, if you're all in, like that's what made RDJ so great. Like, he went all in.
Yes,
he was like, "This is for me. This role." Like, he said it before. He's like, "This role was made for me." The alcoholic billionaire turned. Like, he's like, "This is me. This is my story." So like, he went all in, and like, I mean, look at it. 10 years later, we're all sad. I legit almost cried. I definitely got the feels at the end of Endgame and in the beginning of Far From Home when they had the montage. I laughed a little bit too because it was like the cheesy high school montage.
Right.
That's hilarious. But also at the same time, I'm like, dang, man, no more RDJ. what am I gonna do now? Like, oh
Well,
man.
see, I find it tough that she would be Thor throughout the entire thing, because because of her general just lack of interest, I just can't see that she would be doing a fifth Thor film as Thor. And if my gut is right, that means either Hemsworth is willing to come back for another one, or they have an idea as far as who they want the new Thor to be. And to me, if I'm writing this film, I transition. So she becomes Thor. She saves the world. All good. Her cancer's healed. But for some reason, she doesn't want the responsibility of being Thor or whatever. So the world needs a new Thor. Then you bring in Eric Masterson.
Okay.
So, even maybe early into her getting the Thor powers, she saves Eric Masterson, and at a construction site she saves him, and because he can't escape from the falling debris because of his leg and his cane, so she saves him. Blah blah blah. The rest of the movie comes at the end. For some reason, they write it into like where he's at a diner somewhere by himself, and he's crying over his coffee because the wife left him. It's him and Kevin. He doesn't know what to do. He's trying to make it. And he's like, I'm a good heart. I have a good heart. What can I do? I wish I could just, have powers like these heroes, whatever. She walks in, bonds the Mjolnir to his cane. All of a sudden, now we've got our new Thor. It's a reverse of how they did in the comics, but
yeah,
he also carried and then you can have that. You can have the identity that blends more into the real world, that secret identity where you can do more with the character than instead of it constantly being a god, and he can switch back and forth. And I think that'll be a good way to bring in another character if Hemsworth doesn't want to do it anymore as well.
I mean, I know he has this. He said he wants to keep going.
If he does, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Plus, I'm wondering what that does for if he gives it up for good as Thor, then what that does for as Guardians of the Galaxy, which I mean, clearly they want that to be a thing for a while, or at least one movie anyway.
See, the thing is, because if he's off doing that, he's not even on Earth. So
right,
Masterson is on Earth doing.
So he's the
Thor.
new on Earth Thor, but then there's two Thors.
Well, because Thor, because he's the mighty Thor as far as using Mjolnir, and Thor Odinson, which is he's just being Thor Odinson when he's got Stormbreaker and he's
Stormbreaker.
Yeah,
I mean that's true. Yeah,
Galaxy, so it could work.
Yeah, you could play it that way.
Because in the books, afterwards, Masterson still gets powers as Thunderstrike or whatever, and he's separate from Thor then afterwards. So it works.
So yeah, I guess you could play that, and then you could introduce Thunderstrike.
Eventually, exactly.
Eventually.
So when Thor comes back to Earth, he regains the mantle of Thor, and Thunderstrike can go off and be, that tweener character that kills a lot. Eric went from being so nice to just killing people.
Yeah, that could be cool.
I think that could be something that'd be cool. And it doesn't have to be Master doesn't have to carry the mantle forever either. It could be a movie thing where he carries the mantle, or they could just even do it as a show, and have Thunderstrike can be they can do a movie turn into a show or whatever, and that would be cool. So last part of Phase 4. Date to be determined. Blade, starring Mahershala Ali. Big surprise. I did not see this coming. I
didn't either.
This was a complete curveball out of just like, wow. Did not see this coming at all. Great news, exciting news.
I didn't either.
and technically it won't be
Uh,
a Rock until Phase 5, but it was announced with the other one. So, what are your thoughts on? Because we don't know a whole lot about it right now, but just obviously the fact that we've got our lead actor replacing Wesley Snipes is enough to spur conversation.
Yeah, we talked about this in the beginning, or if I don't know if we decide to split this up into 2 episodes. In episode 1, part 1 of the Phase 4 announcement.
Yes, this is definitely episode. That was definitely episode
1. So like, we talked about this, right? Like Blade was the forerunner for Marvel movies, like the best. Like that at that time, he started it all. Wesley Snipes being Wesley Snipes, an avid martial artist. He fit perfectly in the role. He did it well. I mean, for us as black men, young black men at the time, it was like seeing a superhero. I mean, everybody didn't know it was Marvel, but seeing a Marvel superhero on the big screen, we was able to pound our chest for a few years.
That's right.
So I mean, I'm glad to see it come back and sort of like into this new universe. I know a lot of people were upset that it's not Wesley Snipes, but the dude is like 56 now. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
like he can't.
Like he can.
He can, but it wouldn't make sense in this.
He can't move. He can't really do much moving forward.
No,
you can't pull the Rocky storylines. Like, okay, well now he's old, so he can do this and this. Like, he's got to be able to be Blade.
Yeah, and so and then also like Blade doesn't get old, right? Because he's half a vampire, so you can't have an old guy playing Blade when he was young and
exactly.
But anyway, so I'm excited. Like especially like it's like we got again. I'm pulling the black card heavy these 2 episodes, but we got Black Panther, we got Captain America. Black Captain America. Now we got Blade. I think we're killing it right now. Just in that
aspect
realm. You know what I'm saying? We out here.
Well, now the sisters will get on you if you leave Tessa.
No.
The sisters will get on you. Don't leave Tessa out.
But I'm just talking about the black men right now because
okay.
There's a lot of black female role models across the board, but there's not a lot of black role models, in mainstream or even real life. So I'm
on the male side. I feel you.
Like, so yeah, man, I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited for it.
My biggest question right now is, can Marsha Holly fight? Marsha Holly fight.
No.
Waving to your wife.
Yeah. I don't know if he can fight. I don't know.
Can with Snipes' role being so iconic with the martial arts, can he reproduce that? Like, I don't know if he will be able to do that. That is going to be, because now you can't imagine Blade without the martial arts,
right?
Like, so what do you do now?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, he can be trained, right?
Well, we thought about with that Finn Jones too, and we saw how that went.
Yeah, but also, you look on the flip side, totally different studio and everything. But like,
true,
Michael B. Jordan became a boxer.
Yeah, and he actually looked convincing as a boxer.
Convincing as a boxer, and he trained. I was reading an article. He did like 2 hours of boxing training a day.
Yeah,
on top of his regular workout, just to get big and and fill out on the role. So it's all about how committed he is to it. I think he can, if he commits to it. He's getting paid to do this, right? And I'm sure they're paying him a lot to where he can sit around for 6 months and just train with somebody.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And fill out that, you know what I mean? Is he going to come into it as like Snipes did? Definitely not.
Well, Snipes has been doing karate his entire life,
right? Yeah, but I think he can be convincing, right? And then as the character grows and as time progresses, he can get better. As long as he's committed to it.
Right.
He's not committed to it, then it's going to be another.
What would be smart would be just because Marshall Hall is a much taller person.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was a shooting guard at St. Mary's. You know, if y'all don't know,
he's got the build.
Because
he was an athlete.
Exactly. But I would say for someone taller, not sticking to the karate, but maybe because he's taller, train him in like Muay Thai, for example.
Yeah.
Something that's more better for his body structure.
Definitely swordsmanship.
Yeah, and the swordsmanship. So you don't have to have him doing, all the taekwondo spin type.
Right, lots of kicks and stuff like that.
But you can have him do the power kicks, the front kicks. Obviously with his frame, he could definitely make the boxing stuff look good, and mainly just do focus on the sword work, long range kicks, and still be believable.
Yeah,
and obviously it's a different blade compared to Wesley's, but. Definitely, I'm excited to find out what more will be released. Whoever the villain's going to be, that's going to be cool. And because of the relationship with Spider-Man, you could also have a Spider-Man, appearance swing through Blade 2. Obviously since he's going to be the Iron Man, he's going to be swinging through everywhere. And of course, and Snipes obviously gave his blessing, on the change, which was great to get. And I'm excited, man. I think this, even though
I can't wait.
5, it's gonna be super dope.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how long from now it's gonna be.
How long we have to wait?
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, Marshall is not he's not old, but he ain't super young either.
Nah, but I'm just thinking obviously it's probably gonna be at least 2 years. Actually, it'd be probably more than that, right? Because he announced. I'm sure there's more in Phase 4 than what they announced.
But how long can you push it back? I mean, if you're telling me it's Phase 5 and everything else, Phase 4, you're saying is 2021 and 2020, then 2022 maybe 23. I mean,
but then that means so then Phase 4 is gonna be a super short phase. Because all the other phases were 3-4 years.
Well, we're talking about 3 phases in a 10-year span.
But yeah, so each one was about 3 years, 3.5.
Yeah.
So actually 3.25. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, I think, I think maybe I'm sure that I think they gotta have more in Phase 4. I don't think. Because they never put all the cards on the table.
True.
So
but this is a different phase because we're talking about a whole bunch of different TV shows in here too.
Yeah.
Compared to all being film.
Right. So you gotta figure they're gonna they're gonna still be dropping movies every year. 2 or 3 movies every year like they've been doing. I think they're gonna keep that consistent. So, and they've only announced movie wise for Phase 4. What was it? 3, 4 of them? 4 movies.
Thor, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, so 4 movies.
Eternals was 5.
Right, and historically they've been doing 2 movies a year, at least. Right, they usually do that spring blockbuster, and then they do the summer blockbuster, and then a couple years they did the 3rd movie sort of end of summer. Like a fall blockbuster. So that's only going to cover 2020 and 2021. Then what are you going to do 2022 like I said, unless they're going to just all right, that's it for Phase 4, and now we're moving on to Phase 5, and then that's when Fantastic Four drops, X-Men drops,
right,
Blade drops.
Maybe that makes sense.
22, maybe.
And maybe just 2 years is good enough just to get those stories out and to me, if I'm doing Phase 5 and I'm going to be reintroducing Fantastic Four, I'm going to be introducing your new X-Men, I will want more time. I will want more years in that phase to properly tell those stories anyway.
Get proper casting.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, that's true.
Properly build those stories out right.
Yeah.
Give them the longer rope,
especially Fantastic Four, because
actually
X-Men
too. Yeah,
they've both been done terribly the last 20 years.
Don't even get me on Dark Phoenix. Oh my god.
So so I think similar to Spider-Man. Like we might have to wait a while for those. But yeah, so then 2022 makes sense. Dang, that's a long time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a long time.
A
long time to wait. So you telling me this a full pretty much 3 years before it's gonna happen?
So what I'm thinking is probably maybe Blade will. I mean, obviously, since they announced it, Blade's probably gonna kick off Phase 5,
right?
Because that's the only thing they announced from Phase 5. Even though they alluded to Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Deadpool being part of Phase 5. So it might be a Spider-Man situation like with Civil War, where it's like Civil War came in, kicked off Phase 3.
Right.
And Spider-Man came in. He was the first. Spider-Man Homecoming was the first movie in Phase 3, and also ended out Phase 3 with Far From Home. So I mean, I can see that happening. So then you're talking either end of 2021, right? That fall blockbuster, drop Blade, and then boom, right into Phase 5 with Deadpool 3 or whatever or something, and then that introduces X-Men, and then somewhere in like summer blockbuster introduce Fantastic Four for the first time. Then I don't know, you keep it rolling from there, and then also continuing on these stories. We still got to get Black Panther. They haven't announced that yet,
right?
The second one, so that could drop in either phase. Right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all I know is we better get a good Storm.
Yes.
And I want to see her. I want to see her and T'Challa get married. I need my Black Panther wedding.
Yeah.
In Wakanda.
And that's the thing. Like, do you save Black Panther 2 for Phase 5 to give you the wedding, or do you do a Black Panther 2 and hope that it does well enough to warrant Black Panther 3 having its X-Men tie-in? What's that like?
I don't know, but then if you do the X-Men tie-in, how long does that whole relationship with Black Panther, T'Challa, and Aurora last? You know what I mean? Like, you do it for one film. Do you even do it for a whole film? Do you like they get married and then like halfway through they don't like broke up already?
Right. Yeah, because that relationship is rocky.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Oh, man. That's tough.
Right? And then if you're bringing back Killmonger, when you bring him back,
right.
And then you got what's his name?
Probably they keep killing him. I mean, they killed Claw, so
yeah.
You know,
it's like who are their other villains? I'm trying to think.
I mean, Claw and Killmonger were his two most common ones, and you killed one of them off. Well, technically, both of them off in this.
Technically, both of them are dead because Killmonger killed Claw.
Right.
So
it's like, so like, what do you do there?
Yeah. And I think Killmonger is easily revivable. Like Claw, we know they brought the body, and we know he's dead.
He was sitting there,
right,
in a bag. And
we know he's dead. But like,
from the States to Africa in a bag, like he's dead.
But Killmonger, T'Challa could have easily been like, "All right, he passed out. Let me do something real quick."
Right,
like this is still this is still my cousin.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's an easy save.
Family. Because nobody dies that fast. I mean, I know it's movies, but nobody dies that fast from a stab.
No, he was fine. After all that, he went to them, bro, you fine. Stop tripping.
Right. So, I can see that. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I hope it's sooner than later. Like 2020, 2021, end of 2021. And
it'll probably be 2022.
Yeah. Like early, or early. Yeah, you can do. It'll
probably be early 2022.
You can bring spring 2022, right? Like, because Blade is not as big enough of a blockbuster to sort of warrant summer,
right?
Especially because it's not Wesley Snipes. It's a new casting, and people are going to be a little iffy. So you can say, all right, give him spring, right? Same way with Black Panther, they were kind of like, well, we didn't know what he's going to do, so we gave him spring,
exactly,
and just in case. We threw in Infinity War in the summer.
Right. Yeah. Just in case this doesn't work well, we're going to do this.
Yeah. And so I think you could do the same thing with Blade. You bring in Blade in the spring, 2021. start off phase 5, and then boom, your summer blockbuster be, I don't know, some other major event.
Probably, I mean, I would imagine because of the Skrulls' appearance, it's going to be, the Skrull Invasion Part 1.
I was thinking that. And then it's easy introduction to Fantastic Four at that point.
Well, at least it should be, but
yeah. Because it's like summer blockbuster, Fantastic Four, New Avengers, easy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even you don't even have to have all the Avengers at that point. You just have the Fantastic Four and like Spider-Man.
Just a handful of them.
Yeah, like the ones that they're closest with, Spider-Man and like, a couple other guys.
Black Panther, both of them. Black Panther, Spider-Man, both were temporary Fantastic Four members. So yeah, you can easily pull it.
Yeah, easy crossovers right there. And then you hit fall, and then that's when you throw in maybe X-Men or something, Deadpool 3 or I don't know,
something like that.
Maybe even Black Panther 2.
Right.
I hope it's not that long, because that's a long time.
That's a big gap. Yeah.
From the last one, but
from 2018 to
So I'm thinking Black Panther probably be next year. But I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't announce it, because that's something that everybody. I mean, they already now. I guess because they already announced it. But it's like, why you would think they would have confirmed the release date or something like. Yeah, we know we already talked about that in phase 3, but.
Yeah, we're looking. I'm looking for a date for that.
Yeah,
it needs to come soon.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see with that, but yeah. I mean, I'm excited for Blade. I can't,
Which is
another one of my favorite characters,
right? Yeah.
But also, like, I ain't mad at the black role model stepping up. On the big.
The only negative for me is that that's a confirmation that Cottonmouth is not coming back. At least if Luke Cage comes back, that he's unfortunately not coming back.
Well, maybe he is, just not as the same character. I mean, the same actor.
Same actor. Yeah, that's a possibility. But
I mean, you could bring him back as a different character. You can kind of do the Mandarin thing, right?
Yeah, that was a method actor.
yeah,
he was impersonating me. That's now on Blade. No, that's what matters now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but
that is phase 4. We have taken and a little bit of 5.
A little bit of 5.
A little bit here of 5. So
2 episodes.
We are excited for you to spend the time with us through episode part 1 and part 2, breaking down our thoughts on phase 4 and a little bit of Marvel's phase 5. We are hyped, but we do want to keep letting us know what you think, what you want to see out of these here, and let us know what you want to see more out of us. Please continue to let your friends know about our Jeek Nation community on Facebook. We appreciate all of your support, all of your interaction with us there. Of course, you can always follow us on Facebook at Jeek Nation, on Twitter at Jeek Nation. And we are also streaming more gameplay on Twitch at Jeek Nation, if you've noticed the trend. And your boy Rockinmrmagic is streaming some of that on my personal page. So follow me on there as well. And we're trying to get, our man UniqDNA schedule set so he can jump on with some of that too, but
I need a clone.
Things in the wrong.
Yeah, I definitely need a clone. But as things start to smooth out, I will definitely be streaming more. I will definitely be on social media in general more. Yeah, you know where to find me. UniqDNA everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah.
I also got my personal Twitch page, but I'll probably just be on Jeek Nation more when I can. But I need to dust the sticks off of from my PS4. Even my Switch hasn't been getting a whole lot of gameplay, and I carry that around with me.
I can't lie. My Switch has been getting gameplay, but I have a bad confession to make. I have not touched Breath of the Wild yet, and it's terrible. So I got it for my birthday, and I haven't played it yet.
You know what? Like, I'm so deep. Like, it's crazy how deep I am in Breath of the Wild, but like, I'm at a weird point because I'm like, do I want to keep going and just beat it, or do I want to be like OP first.
OP first, yeah.
Like, and just like accomplish all the side quests and just like have like 18 stars and like like triple stamina circles and all that. So I'm like in a weird spot with that, but yeah,
that's me in every final. That's me in every Final Fantasy.
yeah, that too. But that's what messed me up too. So like, Nintendo ran a sale on all the Final Fantasies from like 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, and 10 actually. And I bought them all because they were like $10 each. And like, so I was like, oh man, do I play Breath? Now every time I turn it on, I'm like, do I play Breath of the Wild? Do I play Final Fantasy? And then they had another sale like a month ago for 2K19. Mm-hmm. I was like, I copped that because I haven't played 2K in a minute. And I'm like, so now I'm like, do I play 2K or do I play Final Fantasy? Do I play Breath of the Wild? Like, no, I'm just not playing no games. Just leave it. It's like, but yeah, so that's been I've been gaming a little bit, but not obviously not streaming it.
I gotta play the Breath of the Wild because the wife started yelling at me. She's like, I bought you this game for your birthday. You ain't played it yet. So I've been playing the Red Deads and the Destiny 2.
And I haven't even touched Red Dead. That's the one I haven't touched yet.
What?
My PS4, bro, it's so bad. My PS4 been on standby mode for so long that I hit the power button on the controller and it wouldn't even connect. It like forgot. It forgot which PS4 is supposed to be connected to.
Wow.
It just was blinking and I was like, yo, did I like break it? Like, did it sit that long? It's bad, man. So like the other day I was down here and I was like trying to set it up and I'm like, why is it not turning on? And I'm like hitting the button. Then I had to hit the actual power button on the console to get it to connect. And then I played for like maybe 5 minutes and then like the baby started crying and stuff and I was like, gotta go. So this is my life. But
you need to document that Red Dead.
But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna start to finish this straight, like stream the whole thing. Like every time I get a Red Dead, I'm gonna just
if you don't stream it, just do the just save the video clips and then.
Well, that's the thing. So like when I built my PC, like I bought the Elgato.
Oh yeah.
I got the capture card. So like everything's here. I got the capture card. I got the other card, so I can hook my DSLR up to my computer, so I can stream both at the same time. Like legit Twitch streaming. Like I'm ready. Like I got the green screen and everything. It's all sitting back there. Yeah. But I got the monitors. I got everything. But I just haven't had time to sit down and do it. So I'm like, that'll probably be my first game. I ain't gonna get as much views as when it first came out, but that's cool because I suck anyway. So I don't really need
a new experience, so it'll be good.
Yeah, I don't need the keyboard warriors in the comments while I'm playing like you suck.
I'll be like, Ian, you still watching though?
You watching though? But yeah. So I will be on streaming shortly, hopefully.
Yes, and we are excited to see it.
Yeah,
folks, thank you so much always for listening. As we've already done our sign-offs, but I wanted to thank you again. Yes. And we are the original Jeek podcast. Your boy Rockinmrmagic. He is UniqDNA. And until next time, hey.
Shout out to Andre. We met yesterday, so hopefully he's listening. Well, he said he listens and he checks out the post. So shout out to him, man. Appreciate the support. And hopefully maybe we get him on a feature one of these days. He loves wrestling, and I've been out of the game for a while. He was talking about he went to WrestleMania recently, like actually went. So I was like, yo, you need to talk to Magic because
I wasn't paying that money for them tickets. Oh, man, $400+ some tickets not gonna be me.
Yeah, so he said he was there. So I was like, you need to talk to Magic because I've been out the game for a while. But yeah, man, shout out to him. Yeah.